Well, hello and welcome, welcome and hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Un Poco Mas. Oh my God, this is exciting. You could cut the tension with a knife. Today we want to give you a Toper time check. It is 5:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on June 12th, 2023. Of course, we are talking SOFI Technologies Incorporated. Ticker symbol is SOFI. And on behalf of Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen, we would like to say welcome and hello and welcome to Un Poco Mas. Guys, on the day, SOFI is up 13 cents or 1.43%. Stock was completely even after hours, leading me to believe that algos are well in charge on their way to killing calls this Friday, guys. The previous close, $9.07, gapped up to open at $9.34. Um, Basically traded in this oh 910 to 925, 926 range. Took one trip down, looked like they were trying to trigger stop losses below 9. Could have resulted in a bit of a bear trap. I don't think they triggered anything down there, weren't able to push it under $9 despite heavy selling in an attempt to push it down, but I think bulls stepped in and bought up those shares. Volume was 40 million shares today, moderate for these times. Volume was a bit higher yesterday. There are just a lot of news stories about SoFi, guys. These stories tend to go in ebbs and flows from positive to negative, depending on how market makers want to move the stock, depending on what type of narrative they'd like to create. But today, I would say that the sentiment is somewhat neutral. Analysts, media, bloggers, they're all out there, guys. But let's just take a look at a couple of articles around the blogosphere and just see what's happening with SoFi. Forget student loans. There are a number of other reasons to buy SoFi. By Adam Spataco. Adam Spataco? Are you kidding me? What kind of name is that? There's a million ways I can go with mocking that name, but because I've proven myself inept as a comedian and stock picker, I'm just gonna let Spataco off the hook. And reminds me of that It's Always Sunny where they made the girl a taco bed. Absolutely horrible. Guys, July 11, 2023. SoFi's roots are in lending, but the market may be overlooking the company's progress in other areas. The company is close to GAAP profitability, thanks in large part to some savvy acquisitions. I don't know about that. The acquisitions haven't really paid off yet, but SoFi's user base is growing at a healthy. Well, the acquisition of the bank certainly, but SoFi's user bank is growing at a healthy clip. Base. The company continues to demonstrate that it can cross sell to its members. Then 10 stocks we like better than SoFi, but that's Motley Fool. They're going to sell you those 10 stocks. Online banking company is a challenging stock to analyze. Made its debut as a SPAC. Fair amount of turbulence, peaking in June 2021, north of $23. There are several reasons why SoFi has experienced dramatic ebbs and flows. For one, the company has a history of burning a lot of cash. It's been pretty acquisitive over the last couple of years, leaving skeptics with a lot of room to doubt its ability to integrate these new products and services. If that weren't enough, the student loans, blah, blah, blah. We know that, guys. Moratorium. Lastly, on top of all this, sectors dominated by large banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, etc. However, the reasons for skepticism have caused some to overlook the promising segments of SoFi's business. Loans are just one part of the equation. Three main buckets: lending, technology, financial services. Each of these categories includes a number of products and services. The lending business, student loans, personal loans, home loans. Technology is primarily built on a platform called Galileo, which SoFi acquired 3 years ago. SoFi Financial Services mimics traditional banking products such as checking, savings, credit cards, etc. For the first quarter, SoFi's lending segment revenue $337 million, while the company's total revenue $472 million represented healthy growth of 43% year over year. It's a good idea to analyze the results a bit further. Home loan originations plummeted 71%, student loan plummeted 47%. This showcases how SoFi's lending segment can be during rising interest rate environment coupled with multiple extensions of student loan repayment moratorium. However, personal loans make up the overwhelming majority of SOFI's origination volume. Unfortunately for the company, originations in personal loans increased 46% year over year Q1, thereby increasing total originations by 7%. So we increased total loan originations by 7%, despite student loans and home loans absolutely falling off a cliff. Given the above, is understandable as some investors would overlook SoFi's other business. The lending business, huge part of the company. Q1 results illustrated, and I believe that those two segments are the ones that will ultimately propel the company into hypergrowth mode. So guys, the two most important segments for the future could be overlooked. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. SoFi's leadership team described attempting to build the Amazon Web Services of fintech. Guys, this article, I'm not going to go over the entire thing. Strongly encourage you to read it. Goes into great detail on the statistics, products, the growth, particularly on the technology side. I already read this article a little while ago, so I know what it says. But I'm going to encourage you to read these numbers. I'm not going to go over it, or we'll all get bleary-eyed, tune out, and start watching videos of cats playing with a piece of string or something like that. But guys, basically this is talking about how the margins are going to be extremely good on the technology side. Valuation is too good to pass up. As of this writing, SoFi stock is up almost 90% year to date. Investors could argue the stock was oversold for a long period of time. Moreover, it has likely benefited given its lack of profitability. A lot of these guys think, SoFi is basically at fair value, has secular tailwinds, particularly from its tech platform, financial service offering. Company is growing like a weed in those areas and knocking on the door in profitability. Long-term investors should take the opportunity to dollar cost average their way into a position in the stock and exercise patience as company continues executing on its vision. When it comes to modern banking, it's SoFi's world, and the rest of the competitors are just paying rent. You stupid turds. Guys, let's take a look at the chart. Guys, I don't know how bullish a chart you want. This is a classic bullish pattern, in my opinion. We came off the lows, came up, we broke through resistance at 8 and have come down and retested that level twice, and we're now going up, and I believe we're going to break down 10 on this run. If you go back, basically I could show you on another chart, but guys, we came down. This level is very important here at 10. I mean, the stock came down in February of 2022, broke down through 10, but immediately popped back up past 1250, came down, broke through 10 again, stopped at that 813-ish level that I've said is key for some time, came back up, challenge 10, was rejected again, back up, challenge 10 again, was rejected again, challenge 10 again. It was rejected there 3 times, guys. And that's when it fell down to these levels. Now, we've seen, guys, I don't know how many times this is gone down and challenged that low just above 5 or in the 4s, but it's basically, this is supposed to be over here, but basically it's once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and this was a triple bottom in its own right. November, December, and end of January, and then the stock came back up. I'm just counting that as 1, but guys, if we count all that as 1, that's 6 low tests. Again, this was 2. How much support do you want, guys? I mean, we've been testing and building support now for like 18, 15 months, 14, 15 months. And guys, we came up way too strong, way too hot. That's why we were rejected off of that 10 level. It's key over here. You can see from February to April 2022, the stock was trying to consolidate in that level, but the bottom just fell out of it. Guys, we've been in this channel. We've tested the top 3 times. I know people are like, oh, you consider that testing resistance? I'm like, yes, I do. I do. And then bottomed, you could say bottomed once, twice, count this as 3, 4, count this all as 4, whatever you want to call it, guys. 3 tops, 4 bottoms, riding along the bottom here for, 4 months. But guys, I believe this is just a bullish chart. I believe we're about to break down 10. If you look at the short-term call options this Friday, 16,000 sitting at $9. Very little at 850, and then 33,000 at 950, where the heaviest volume is, and then out at 10, a lot of calls as well. So you fully expect market makers to take the profit out of these calls, dump the garbage that's left over on retail's head, on Thursday and then kill the calls on Friday, leaving retail investors holding a huge bag of shit, just like they always do. Guys, let's take a look at the short interest. Today, of course, because the stock went up slightly, you can basically assume they returned a few shares. Which is the case, 1.25 million, and on volume of only 40 million shares, guys, that's well over 2%, like 2.4 something percent, 2.3, 2.4% of the entire churn was on this borrowed change. So return shares 3.2, borrowed 1.96 for a net of 1.25 coming back return shares. So guys, that's how they control the stock, the market makers, with how many shares they borrow, how many they return, and also the volume put in the stock, what their trading desks are doing, etc. Guys, there's a huge short on the stock. I would say for a company of this caliber, had increased dramatically of late, 16% of the free float, but the shares on loan have actually been going down, leading me to believe that people are hedging, people are short long, and there's all kinds of stuff going on in the dark pool. Remember, the actual exchange measured short rate is only in the eights, high eights, and the estimated short interest Ortex is picking up from the dark pool and everywhere else is almost double that. So, take that for what you will. Guys, is SOFI stock undervalued or overvalued? July 7, 2023. This is the value pendulum. These guys aren't bad. I've read some of their articles. Don't know who's actually writing this. But they're kind of neutral on the stock. And you can go through this, guys. Elevator pitch. Why they're fairly bullish on SoFi, but just believe it's had a little bit too much of a run, a little bit too hot, and that it's basically fairly valued at that point. And they go into detailed math to sort of show why that's the case. They go through and they use SoFi's own estimates, own words, the stuff they're saying at the conferences. So I believe this is a pretty good article if you'd like to take a look at it. It's over on Seeking Alpha. Again, highly recommend Seeking Alpha. They don't pay me, unfortunately. Nobody does. No affiliate bonuses, but I just really like their authors, really like the content they put out. So I know you can look at it for free, a certain number of articles. Check it out if you like, if you're feeling frisky. What's the long-term outlook? SoFi's outlook in the long run is pretty good. As per S&P Capital's IQ consensus data, their top line EBITDA is expected to expand combined annual growth rates plus 21% and plus 36% respectively. So that's 2024 through 2027 time period. Talking about the top line growing over 21% and EBITDA growing almost 37% during that period. So that is really, really good. I think the top line is going to grow more like 25% over that period, if not even a little bit more. I think they're very cautious, just very, very cautious. The market's bullish expectations of SoFi Technologies' long-term financial outlook have indicated above is supported in growth potential. SoFi Technologies noted at Morgan Stanley Payment CRE conference, total addressable market student loan refinancing is $200 billion. As comparison, SoFi's trailing 12-month revenue for the company as a whole was $1.7 billion, or less than 1% of its student loan refinancing business TAM. Of course, guys, bears, the Chia Pet and others have argued that that market is a lot smaller than $200 billion because interest rates are going to keep rising. And, there's a certain amount of truth to that. We have to acknowledge reality. Separately, SoFi revealed that Piper Sandler, its banking business is already GAAP profitable, boasting a reasonably high 20% return on equity with expectations of adding $2 billion worth of deposits every quarter. As SoFi Bank's contribution to the overall business mix grows over time, SoFi's profitability and return on equity are expected to rise going forward. And they basically go through, is the stock undervalued or overvalued? They have a hold on it. They use two different metrics to measure the stock, and they have one that's slightly overvalued or fairly valued, and another that's very close to fair, maybe slightly undervalued. So this is quite a fair analysis. I don't have a lot to argue with. I think once they hit GAAP profitability, I think a lot of these valuations, a lot of these authors will change their tune a little bit and go back to the undervalued. Guys, looking at the technical analysis of indicators, in summary, we have a strong buy, 1 bearish, 6 neutral, 15 bullish indicators. The oscillators are bullish to neutral. Moving averages, all 12 are bullish. That's a strong buy. Obviously, after we've had a big run, are going to pop up above all of those averages. The pivot points, Fibonacci, classic, if you believe in those, they're basically tracking exactly the same. I don't really trade by those things, moving averages. You can see all that technical indicators, either neutral, RSI, stochastic. MACD's a buy. Williams, I never really understood that's a buy. Anyway, guys, if you want to take a look at all these little technical indicators are all screaming a buy. Dear SoFi fans, mark your calendars for July 31st. This is Shrey Dua, 1 day ago, Investor Place assistant writer. This will be the final earnings report before student loan payments resume on September 1st. Student loan payments made up most of the revenue before the pandemic, and investors are excited about the return of its most popular product. This basically goes through what they expect student loans to contribute, how all the money they've lost has affected the company, but how they've been able to pivot. First quarter, SoFi reported a loss of 4, beating expected loss of 9 by 50%, recorded a revenue of $460 million, beating guidance by 5.35%. And Noto noted they returned another eighth consecutive quarter of adjusted net revenue growth and up 43% year over year, Noto said. SoFi has clearly managed to adjust surprisingly well to its loss of its student loan business. Blah, blah, blah. We've heard all this crap from me and a bunch of other talking heads a million times before. SoFi stock climbs ahead of optimistic earnings report. Company expects to earn between 470 and 480 million adjusted revenue, representing roughly 33% year-over-year upside, and between 50 and 60 million of adjusted EBITDA just this quarter. I don't know why people think the CAGR of the top line is only going to be 21% when it's like 33% year over year, and it seems to be in the 30s. Maybe they think it's going to slow down that much. I personally don't see it, but you do you guys. Invest how you want. It's not financial advice. I mean, I'd buy SoFi, but it's not financial advice. Buy SoFi, not financial advice. Buy SoFi, buy SoFi, not financial advice. Buy SoFi, buy SoFi. That said, the return of its biggest cash cow is undeniably bullish indicator for SoFi. Expect the September 1 of student loan payments to be a fixture for the company's earnings call. On the date of this publication, did not have a position, degrees in economics and journalism. Shrey Dua leverages his ample experience in media and reporting to contribute well-informed articles. So at least this guy has an econ degree. I mean, it's more qualified than me. I may have studied economics myself. One never knows. Let's see, guys, why these 7 stocks are the best ways to play fintech right now. Let's go through who they like. This is Thomas Neal, of course. Touchdown Thomas Neal, Investor Place contributor. He likes Shift for payments. 4, I like that. Lending Club, he likes Lemon Club. I like SoFi better than Pagaya and Lending Club. I like SoFi way better than PayPal. Let's get to what he says about SoFi, because that's the guest of honor, the belle of the ball. In recent months, I've been very bullish on SoFi. During May, June, shares of neobank took off like a rocket on the student loan saga finally coming to an end. The Supreme Court made its decision. Markets sold the news on SoFi. Still, the shares have held on to most of their recent gains. More importantly, it's not as if the resumption of student loan payments will just have a one-and-done impact on SoFi's growth. Besides possibly sparking growth, resurgence of SoFi's student loan refinancing arm, the fintech also stands to benefit from cross-selling of other financial services. Guys, this is what everybody's missing. Student loans is just another way to get people on the wheel. It brings them in the door. It sells them a product. It makes them a member. We want to sell these people 5, 6, 7 other products. We want to refi their home. We want to sell them insurance. We want to sell them travel. We want to sell them credit cards. We want to sell them all kinds of stuff, guys. We want to load these guys up with high margin bullshit. Send them on their way. Take their money, spin them around, blindfold them, kick them out of a cab in Tijuana with no money, no cell phone. No, we don't, guys. We don't want to kidnap our customers. We just want to get some of their money and add it to our profits as a company. But we're going to serve the customer, serve them by making money from them. And they like Upstart. Why do they like Upstart? I'm curious. One tier lately, been on a tear lately. Yeah, it's tripled since May. Recent spike too fast, too far. Sure, the company's already started to exceed expectations, although, I don't know. ATM, I don't even know what that company is, to be honest with you. They like ATM to facilitate payments. Okay, this is some type of processing fulfillment company. I'm not familiar with XTM. But if you are, maybe tell me down in the comments what's going on with that stock. And guys, talk markets again. Most active equity for yesterday, most active options. Of course, SOFI is there again with 62% calls, 38% puts, 250,000 total. So we're up there with all the mega caps, half as many options as like Tesla, almost as many as Amazon, Nvidia, etc. Don't know why little old SoFi with its 1 billion in sales gets so much attention, so much short interest, so much option interest. Oh, they'll say it's because it's a retail favorite, but I think it's because it's a mega bank market maker unfavorite, that redheaded stepchild they love to pick on. Make them do all the chores and never let them go to the ball. You're not going to buy SoFi a new dress, not introduce them to the prince, not see if the shoe fits on that foot. You're just going to let the ugly stepsisters try on the shoe. Well, it's not going to fit, guys, because they're ugly inside and outside. In the cartoon, there's a wart on the one's nose, which indicates she has poor character. Guys, I digress. Is there anything else to say about SoFi, guys? Everybody thinks they're going to buy back at 5 and 6 after they short the hell out of it after the next earnings report. I don't see it, guys. I don't see it at all. I think that that basically the days of shorting SoFi after every ER are over. I think they're much too close to making a net profit. And I think market makers are not going to continue to short the stock quite as aggressively in after this. It really depends a lot on the earnings report this time. I don't think it's going to be this mechanical preloaded short. I think that caught a lot of people by surprise last time. Don't think it's going to work again this time. Remember, guys, if you're looking at the chart here, this closed the fourth highest it's closed in a long, long time. I don't know what I was on. I think I was on the monthly. But yeah, guys, if you look at this close, I mean, this is a red candle, so a lot of people think this would be bearish. But this candle closed where yesterday's high was. If you look at that tail, this is like 920. This closed right there. So this is extremely bullish, guys. This red candle is very, very bullish. Don't let the half-wits and turds tell you otherwise. In fact, this is the fourth highest close since going all the way back to April of 2022. If you look at this close of $9.20, it's higher than either of these closes, though the tails get up there. The only days that closed higher are these days here on June 13, 14, and 15, guys. Other than that, today was the highest close we've had in 16, 17 months. Think about it, guys. Think about it. This is either a double bottom flipping the resistance to support, or it's a triple top and it's going to come crashing back down. I like to believe the former because I am a SoFi bull. The student loans, the mortgage loans, basically the bear case in my mind is built around a lot of short-term FUD. There is no cogent long-term argument why SoFi is not going to have good margins and make a lot of free cash flow with their wheel strategy. If they can continue to add customers and products as they have been every single quarter. And SoFi, no pun intended, Freudian slip. So far, there is no end to the growth story, guys. Growth, though it's not as fast as it has been for these economic conditions, it's still been very, very solid. Why do I think they're going to have free cash flow? They're already one of the fastest growing banks, guys. They're growing deposits rapidly. They're growing direct deposits rapidly. They have no branches, very like 2 or 3. They have none of that huge legacy overhead. They're new. They're efficient. They own the backbone. They're just switching. I just got noticed that my credit card was switching from Missouri Bank over to actual SoFi Bank. So it's all going in-house. And they have flexibility to add products and services due to their technology stack, which is going to run their bank and hopefully a lot of other banks, allows them to easily expand offerings, be nimble, change in the face of economic conditions. Guys, what do you think is going to happen with the upcoming earnings report? please let me know down in the comments. I'm looking for a loss of about 2 cents per share. I'm looking for member ads around 475,000. I'm looking for Galileo products to be flat, but hopefully some announcements soon that they add some big fish on Galileo. I'm looking for defaults on the personal loan side to be up very, very slightly, but still under estimates and under what they've reserved for. And guys, I'm seeing a classic bullish pattern here, breaking through the support at 8 or the resistance at 8 that's been tested 3 times over the last 16 months. Finally broke through that very convincingly, came back and tested it twice, and both times bounced off extremely convincingly. Notice this candle here with volume of 62 million and this candle here with volume of 43 million. Very, very bullish pattern in my opinion, guys. Tell me what you think of the chart. Tell me what you think of my notes. It's like, what a mess. Indicative of what's going on in my head, unfortunately. But guys, the stock is SOFI Technologies Incorporated. Of course, ticker symbol's SOFI. What do you think? It's changed? Look up the stock. It's already on your screen, you freaking degenerates. My name is, of course, Danny Deals. They call me Topper Schilling. They call me Stock Karen for Hurricane Lopez. And the rest of the team here at Un Poco Mas, we want to thank you for tuning in. Please tell us what you think SoFi is going to do at earnings down in the comments. Give us any questions, any thoughts, any psychotic ramblings, anything that might be on your mind. We appreciate you tuning in. Guys, it's July 12, 2023, Topper time check. 5:49 p.m., 11 minutes till the top of the hour. It's 19 minutes past the bottom of the hour, 6 hours and 11 minutes till midnight, till the change in the calendar. Probably, depending if you're here on the West Coast, on the East Coast, though, I don't know, anywhere between 15 hours, 18 hours, till you got to wake your happy ass up tomorrow morning and do it all again. But at least it's not hump day tomorrow, guys, because it was hump day today. Not for the wife, you know what I mean? Nudge the word. No, guys, seriously, it's SoFi stock, ticker symbol SOFI. Thanks for watching. It's Un Poco Mas.